Michelle here. Thanks for coming back, everybody, to part two of books to start your magical practice for your desires in life, whether it's love or money or having better family relations. Again, I'm getting into some science books, some religious, some philosophical texts, and everything. I do want to use this moment, just a really quick second, to plug 24 Legacy. You guys, that's my latest endeavor with acting. You'll see me on the show. Look for me in the computer room. You're going to see me typing on the computer trying to save the world. I don't have any speaking lines, but this is really important to me. I've worked on it for 3 months, so check it out. It comes on after the Super Bowl. This is the follow-up to 24. Also, if you would take a moment to look at my short film down below, it's called The Oracle. I have a supporting role and I do the narration throughout the film. So check it out. All right, let's get right into it. First, I wanted to clear up something on the Book of Lies. There's also a Book of Lies by Aleister Crowley. This is not the same book. That's not the book I'm referring to, although this book does talk about him, as I mentioned before. They're just paying homage to him with the play on the name Book of Lies, but there's two different books, so I just wanted to clear that up. And then also the Picatrix that I mentioned, that was written in the 1200s, so that's the one I'm referring to. Alrighty, first book I want to start with, The Secret Teachings of All Ages. This is written by Manly P. Hall. Again, everything I'm talking about is not just strictly magic. This guy was a philosopher as well. He was far ahead of his time. And if you if you look him up on YouTube, you'll find a lot of his audiobooks. Very deep stuff. He talks about Masonic symbology and Hermeticism and Kabbalistic and Rosicrucian philosophy. This is one of my favorite books that he wrote. And also, there's some mystery as to how he died. Some people think he was actually murdered. So when you talk about people trying to bring knowledge to the masses and, them being killed or murdered, it's kind of like, why? That's a mystery kind of in and of itself. So look that up. Also, H.P. Blavatsky. Isis Unveiled. This is the founder of the Theosophical Society. Say that 3 times. She's a controversial figure, as far as she came out in a time when spiritualism was on its rise. And occult, by the way, occult simply means hidden. We're not talking about cults, but occult, it just means it's something that's hidden. It's knowledge that you have to search for, and that's not a bad thing. But anyway, no matter what you think of her, she did a great job of bringing the East to the West, and she realized and recognized that a lot of cultures in our world are a lot older than us in America. And she recognized that and realized that they have a lot of good knowledge to share with us. So she brought that together beautifully. Also, speaking of her, The Morning of Magicians. That's one of my favorite books of all time. This was written in 1960 by Louis Pauls and Jacques Berger. This talks about Blavatsky and Aleister Crowley. Also talks about Gurdjieff and alchemy. And alchemy was basically the precursor to chemistry, to today's chemistry. But alchemy also did a wonderful job of bringing together spiritualism and science. So again, mixing magic and science and philosophy and religion. This also talks about some vanished civilizations and secret societies. This is a really exciting book. Also on alchemy, we have The Philosopher's Stone by Joseph P. Farrell. He also gets into some Nazi occultism and some other things, some basically modern day alchemy. This is very interesting. It's a hard read. He's not the easiest person to read, but it's pretty good. We have Math for Mystics by Rena Schessel. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but this person does a good job of breaking down the secrets of sacred geometry. Talks about Pythagoras and numerology and magical squares, days of the week, everything. And it does a great job of breaking it down for that lay person that's not a mathematician. Okay, now I want to get into some religious books, also spiritual books. The Book of Enoch. Remember when I talked about the Council of Nicaea, those bishops that came together and talked about the books that they want in the Bible? This is one of the books that they left out. So everybody knows the story of the Watchers coming down to Earth and having sex with us sexy earthling women, right? That's what, that's this story. That's where we got this from. Also, Pam Grout, E Squared, The Power of Thought. Check this out. This is a very good book. Also, Jesus, The Explosive Story of the Lost 30 Years and the Ancient Mystery Religions. This is by Tricia McCannon. And we all know that in the Bible, like we see that Jesus was born and then there's missing time. And then, he was born and then the next thing he's getting crucified at the age of 33. What this book does is puts together from basically from the Quran and from the Dead Sea Scrolls, just a lot of different ancient texts. It pulls together and tries to figure out what he was doing during that time. He's with the Druids and he was learning some really ancient, mysterious things. This is a very good book, very interesting book. Okay, if I could bring together some ancient Egyptian knowledge really quick, also tying into religion as well, the Hermetica. The Lost Wisdom of the Pharaohs. This is by Timothy Freak and Peter Gandy. This is very good. Sacred Science. You cannot talk about symbology and any kind of just the magic of seeing symbols and them getting inside you and changing your DNA almost. You can't talk about that without talking about R.A. Schwaller de Lubitz. Very deep, Sacred Science and Ancient Egyptian Magic. Also, The Sacred Tradition in Ancient Egypt by Rosemary Clark. This is a very good one. And Ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead. Has some very good stuff here. Now, let's talk about Peter Levenda, right? So, Peter Levenda happens to know who Simon is. Simon is an author that we do not know who this person is, but Peter Levenda knows who that person is. Peter Levenda is an author, another very cool guy, author, and everything. He is purported to know who this person is. The Necronomicon, obviously, that's a play off of H.P. Lovecraft, who is a magician in and of himself, by himself, to create the worlds and the lands he did and the mythology. It's almost like he's reaching into the future and just changing reality with his story. Simon also wrote Papal Magic, Occult Practices Within the Catholic Church. Of course, I like this one because, as I said, I'm Catholic, so I could I like some of the spells in this. This is really interesting stuff. Now, very important, whether you're into magic or whether you're not into it, you should do some yoga, tai chi, massage therapies, and healing therapies. This was written by, Mark Evans. And yoga, if you want to connect mind to body, to earth, it's very important. This talks about the healing power of touch and of stretching and just connecting our spirit and our soul and our body and just being the best person we could possibly be. Only takes 20 minutes a day. So I highly recommend this book. Last few books, I'm almost there. Okay, Man, Myth, and Magic. This is an encyclopedia of books. I'm showing you the first book right here, but there's actually maybe 100 of them. There are a lot of these, and I don't have them all, unfortunately, but the ones I have read are very good. These are written about in the 70s, and again, they go back, and it's from A to Z. They talk about anything and everything with man, myth, magic, everything. Very interesting. We also have the illustrated Golden Bough by Sir James George Fraser. this book I thought was really good because he talks about tribal cultures, and he also goes back, um, talking about, as you can see from the picture there, the Babylonians and oh, I forget that culture. I'm having a brain freeze right now. But anyway, this is a very good book. And the last one, if I could talk about real quick, if you've ever seen The Witch's Almanac, there's also one called the Magickal Almanac. I like this one a little bit better because they break down some of the moon cycles, and they talk about the importance of the waxing moon versus the waning moon, things like that. I will say that I enjoyed this one a lot better. It's from 2014. This is the one from this year, which honestly I didn't enjoy as much as the older one. The articles in the older one were a little bit better. But anyway, did I leave anything out? Or is there anything you would have included? Or is there anything you don't agree with? Let me know. Please share. Again, thank you for watching my videos, and come back more for gonna have those dance videos, more flight attendant videos, and everybody take care. Thank you.